Welcome. My name is Jocelyn and today we are doing kind of a get ready with me sort of new product review, foundation check-in type of video. If you caught my Sephora haul and my Shop My Stash, I've got a handful of products that I pulled in to use for the month of September. So I'm going to be using some of those. Some call outs that I was sent recently are two Kevyn Aucoin products. I'm super excited to use these. This is a foundation and an eyeshadow palette, so I will be using those. Also some new products is the RMS Beauty Uncover Up Foundation Concealer. I'll be using it as a concealer today. And then the Natasha Denona Super Glow highlighter and the Huda Beauty matte lipstick in Joyride, because I think that it'll go well, it'll pair well with the eyeshadows that we're using. I apologize if you can hear my cats, they're kind of running amok. Did you hear that? In the background, so you might hear them prancing about. I might use this today. This is also a new product, well, kind of a new product. I got this at TJ Maxx last month with my friends. I think it was at TJ Maxx or Marshall's. Yeah, this is just a Real Techniques limited edition eyeshadow brush. This is one of their Brush Crush 301 eyeshadows. I don't think that this line is continuing, but you might be able to find it at Marshall's, TJ Maxx. It's a really cute little brush. It's pretty heavy too. So I got this recently. It was like $3.99 or something at Marshall's, and I really love blending brushes like this. Oh, look, cat. So we are going to start with eyes, which means we are starting with this Kevyn Aucoin product right here. It is a kind of chunky packaging a bit. It's not super thin. Like, let's see, let's compare it to something everybody knows, the Urban Decay Naked Palette. So I don't know how well you can see that, but it's almost, not almost twice the size, but it's definitely thicker than most palettes that I have. But if we open it up, this is what the inside looks like. So I did get this sent to me from Octoly and Kevyn Aucoin, of course. There's 4 different color options of this type of palette. This is the Emphasize Eye Design palette, and this specific shade range is the As Seen In. So let me give you a bit of a close-up. So those are what the shadows look like, and then these palettes also come with like a metallic shadow right there. This metallic shadow is stinking beautiful. I have swatched it. I have not used any of these shades yet on my eyes, but I'm so excited. I've heard really, really good things about the Kevyn Aucoin eyeshadow formula. So when this popped up on my Octoly website, I was very stoked to apply for it, and then even more excited to get it accepted. So I'm really excited to try these and kind of just share my thoughts with you. All of the palette options in this series, the Emphasize Eye Design palette, are all very neutral palettes. So there's more of a rose toned, which is the one that I opted, well, it's kind of a rosy purpley toned. And then there's a brown toned, a copper toned, a smoky toned, nice neutral options. So I'm really excited to give this a try. I think I kind of want to go for a bit of a halo eye with this, with the metallic shade in the middle. So let's go ahead and prime my eyes. First, I'm going to use the Ofra eyeshadow primer. Let's actually zoom you in a bit. All right, eyes are set. We are now going to jump directly into this palette. I'm going to go ahead and take out the little chrome eyeshadow so that it doesn't get in our way when we're playing with these shades. I'm going to go ahead and start with all 3 of these matte shades and just kind of build them from the outer corner crease and then the inner corner up into the crease to create that halo effect, because I'm going to put this in the middle. This, by the way, is the cream foil eyeshadow in the shade Rose Gold, so you'll get to see what this looks like. Again, I haven't tried any of these on my eyes, so I'm very excited. We're just going to start with the lightest shade in here, the shade Ballet. So the shades go Ballet, Blush, Rose, Amethyst, and then Sangria here at the very end. So we're going to start with the lightest shade and build it. It's pretty light, so I probably could have actually used this to set my eyeshadow. Yeah, it's not gonna show up on my eye like at all. Yeah, okay, that's not showing up at all. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next matte shade in here, which is Amethyst, a very light, muted, kind of lavender transition shade. All right, we are going to move on to the middle shade in this palette, the shade Rose. It is definitely a hair, well, a decent amount darker than the shade we just used. With the same brush, and just continue to build up that coloring in the outer and inner corner of my eye. Okay, these are are blending really well onto the eye. I'm like not really even having to do much work. It could be because they're so light. We're gonna go to the darkest shade, the shade Sangria, because Amethyst is a pretty shimmery shade, and then Sangria has a little bit of shimmer in it, but it is like a matte with a little bit of shimmer. So I'm gonna take some of that and start building it on the outer and inner corners to deepen, but I think I'm going to use a different brush. I'm gonna go in with this tiny blending brush. This is by Morphe. This is one of the ones that comes in one of their sets. So it's just a smaller, more densely packed brush. And again, I'm gonna go into that darkest shade and start working it into, I'm actually gonna maybe try and use the mirror here in the palette. And I'm going to try and build up that color in the outer and inner corners. I feel like I want maybe an even more pointier, densely packed brush. This is the Sigma Airbrush Blender F63. Gonna continue to pick up that dark shade and just kind of try and deepen it up a little bit more. I'm also gonna take Rose, which is that middle shade, and just kind of bring that shade back up here. All right, I'm also gonna take my finger and I'm gonna take the shade Amethyst, that purple glitter color, and just kind of try and put it on the outside of this space we've left in the middle of my eye. I don't know how much it will do, but it's not a super, I mean, I guess it is pretty pigmented, but it doesn't seem like it's showing up that well on the eye. Now that I have all of those shades down, I'm going to take this beautiful rose gold color, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of use it the way that I use my other glitter shadows like this. Also, I should mention, so they say that you can use this kind of all over the eye the way I'm going to be using it today, but also because of the design of this doe foot, you can kind of see that it has a point at the top. They say that you can use this to draw on eyeliner, so I might have to try that at some point. I feel like if I had a darker shade, it would be a little bit easier and better to use that darker shade as an eyeliner, but because this is so bright, of course I could use it as an eyeliner, but I want to use it as a middle halo shade in the middle of my eye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dot it onto the center of my eye and then use my finger to kind of blend it around in that area. So let's get started. This is definitely the shade that it looks better if you don't blend it out as much. So we're gonna build it up and then use a matte shade to blend the corners. We might actually try and use that amethyst shade to blend the corners. So kind of let that dry a little bit. So now I'm gonna take the shade Amethyst again, that's that purple shade, and I'm going to dip into it with this small domed brush. It's kind of a funky shade because it's more of a satin shade. So it's a little more hard pressed in the pan, but we're gonna take some of that and we're gonna kind of just buff it into these corners, the sides of that glitter shade we just put down to help blend it. I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but there is quite a bit of fallout on my face, so we'll just wipe that away. I don't think I want to add any eyeliner, so we're not going to. I am going to start on the face though. We'll come back to the eyes after we've got some of my face makeup on, and we are gonna go in with the Kevyn Aucoin Foundation Balm. I'm really excited about this. This is probably the thing I'm most excited about to try today. This is of course the Foundation Balm by Kevyn Aucoin. It is in the shade Light FB03. I've been really into kind of all kinds of foundation textures and forms and finishes. I like sometimes things a little more matte and full coverage, and I like things a little more dewy and lighter coverage. I think that this falls kind of in the middle. I think it's a medium coverage with a more dewy finish. So I'm really excited to see how this works for my skin. Oh, I didn't mention a moment ago, but the eyeshadow palette is kind of expensive. This is $46, which is a lot. So you do get the 5 shades in here and the chrome eyeshadow. You kind of can't get too many looks out of this, and I do kind of feel after using all of these matte shades that these two kind of are pretty similar, so I'm not totally sure if both of those were necessary in here. For $46, I don't know, we'll have to see. I haven't finished the eye look out, so we'll kind of do a wrap up later. But so this is $46 for the chrome eyeshadow and the 5 eyeshadows in this little container. And then this is possibly the most expensive foundation I've ever tried. This is $52. I'm not sure. I do still have the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, and this one might be more expensive. I bought it so long ago that I don't remember, but I know that Estee Lauder and that foundation is very expensive. But I'm pretty sure that this takes the cake as the most expensive foundation I will ever try, at least in the foreseeable future. So again, this was sent to me by Octoly and Kevyn Aucoin for review, but of course all thoughts and opinions are my own and not swayed by the fact that I got this for free. So when you order this foundation, again for $52, you do get the foundation and a brush comes with it. So a Kevyn Aucoin foundation brush. It is, ooh, I haven't felt this yet. I like this. I like this a lot. It is a pretty nice, or you can drop it. It is a pretty nicely compact brush. This would be, if it works well, I could see this being a really great travel brush. So I'm gonna try this. If I need to, I will go wet my sponge, but I would like to see how it works with the tool that it comes with. So the claims of this foundation: it's supposed to leave the skin looking visibly smoother and more even toned, and imparts a virtually bare, brave, and beautiful canvas. Wow. It does have antioxidants in it to enhance the look of your natural skin and protect against environmental aggressors. It is supposed to be a long wearing formula, so we will test that a bit today. It is already 2 o'clock, so not the longest wear test, but a wear test, and I will continue to use this, assuming that it doesn't just absolutely destroy my skin and look horrible. I will continue to wear this. All right, this is what the product looks like. You can see that I have swatched it in there, but I have not actually used this on the skin. I don't usually use primers, so I'm not going to use a primer today. I don't know how exactly you're supposed to apply it, so let's find out. Oh, this is supposed to have a full coverage. I just looked on the Sephora website, a full coverage. It does have a matte finish. Okay, I thought that it was more of a satin finish, so I guess we'll see. How to use: swirl the foundation balm brush into the foundation balm compact to pick it up. Stroke the foundation balm brush onto skin, starting in the center of the face and working outwards. All right, here we have the brush. Did it say swirl? Swirl. Okay, swirling. And then it says stroke. Oh, hello. Okay, so let me kind of get a little bit closer up. I have finished applying the foundation, and I, so far, really like it. It is a tiny bit sticky on the skin, not obscenely sticky, but I do feel it, like it hasn't dried down yet. So I may have to set a few spots. I usually do set my skin, but we'll see how I feel in a couple moments. Also, I do want to note that although I have pretty oily skin, I do have a few spots on my face that are a little bit drier, so I have some dry patches here and there. And it does kind of emphasize those dry patches a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see how those wear throughout the day. But I do really like this finish. It is a little bit matte, but it's more of a kind of natural finish. Like, I don't feel like I'm wearing a super heavy foundation on the skin. I do kind of feel it on my skin a little bit if I move my face around. It does cover up pretty well the red marks and blemishes on my face, well enough that I don't really want to put another layer on. So far I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm definitely excited to keep trying this. I will check in at least once, if not twice today, to show you how it's wearing. Let's go ahead and put some concealer on so that my under eyes don't look so ghastly. This again is the RMS Beauty Uncover Up Concealer and Foundation in the shade 11.5. I have been using this on and off for, well, actually pretty on. I haven't really used any other concealer for the last about week or so, and this is what it looks like. This is another potted product, just like the foundation balm that we just used. And what I've been doing is just swirling my finger in there and tapping it onto my under eyes. So I'm only going to be using this on my under eyes because the foundation did a pretty good job covering up all of the other imperfections across my face. So let's go ahead and pick some of this product up and tap it onto my under eyes. All right, so I know a lot of you were interested when I did my Sephora haul to kind of hear my thoughts or just kind of hear my experience with this product. So first of all, I just want to kind of show you a comparison of the side that I have used it on and the side that I have not used it on. As you can see, it does cover a bit, but there's still, like, it's not super full coverage. It's a very natural kind of product, and I do really like that. I'm still developing my thoughts on it because it's a very interesting, unique product that I haven't used anything like before. So I just kind of wanted to show you that comparison real fast before I cover up the other side. I think I'm also going to set kind of my forehead a little bit because I do have some forehead lines that tend to wrinkle pretty bad, and then maybe a little bit in my T-zone just to give it a fair shot. All right, so we are gonna go back into my Kevyn Aucoin product. I wanna take some of this light beige shade in here, the shade Ballet, and I wanna kind of clean up this top area right here. Some of that darkness just went a little too far up. I wanna just kind of lighten it a little bit. I'm not in focus, am I? That's cool. And I do actually, let's go ahead and do my brows real fast. I'll just take care of those real fast off camera because nothing about my brow process has changed. Let me do those real fast. All right, so brows are on. I also went ahead and took care of bronzer and blush because I'm not using any new products. But in case you're wondering, I did use the Ciate London Into Deep blush. This is what the inside looks like. It's a very purpley toned blush, which worked really well with this eyeshadow look. And then I also just used a contour shade in the Shade and Light palette for my bronzer contour. And both of these are older products in my collection, this of which I am trying to pan. All right, so moving back to the eyes, I am going to go back to my little palette by Kevyn Aucoin, and what I think I'm going to do is kind of do the same thing that I have on top, on bottom, but I'm only going to use these two shades on the outer and inner portion of my eye, and then I'm going to tap some of the rose gold cream foil eyeshadow in the center. So that's what I'm doing. Try and use my finger to pick up some of that purple. And then we're gonna go back into this little eyeshadow right here, and we're gonna take a little bit of it and dot it right in the center, and then tap it across that center area. And next we are going to do some highlight, and I'm very excited about this one. So we are going to be using the Natasha Denona Super Glow Highlight. I did pick this up in the most recent Sephora summer sale. This is what the inside looks like. I have used this a handful of times this last weekend. So about for the last 4-ish days, I've been using this, and I do really, really like it. So let me apply it. I am going to apply it in my inner corners, my nose, my cupid's bow, and then of course my cheekbone area. It just offers such a nice glow. All right, so that's kind of what I'm looking for. As you can see, that highlight is very noticeable. I don't find that it's got like chunky glitters or anything like that in it. It's just truly a glowy, super glowy highlight that looks really pretty. I really enjoy this highlighter a lot. So all we have left is mascara and lipstick, I think. So let me put my mascara on real fast and then we'll do lips, which again is the Huda Beauty matte lipstick in Joyride, which should be a pretty good match, which I think so. I think, yeah. We'll see. It feels like every single other product that I've used in today's video has been very high-end, but for mascara, I am using the Essence Lash Princess Mascara because, of course, I love this thing. It's like $4.99. All right, so mascara is done. Let's go ahead and put on this Huda Beauty lipstick. I have not tried this at all yet, so I have no idea what the formula is like. I have no idea how it feels on the lips or anything like that, but we're about to find out. All right, so this is applied. It's definitely a tiny bit more warm toned than I was expecting. I think it still looks okay. Well, maybe I do actually really like it because it kind of matches the center rose gold tone quite a bit. It's a super weird formula because it's really comfortable on the lips, but when I rub my lips together, I can tell that it's more of a matte formula. I think that it looks pretty good. Like, it doesn't look drying or uncomfortable. Like, it doesn't look uncomfortable on the lips, and it's not uncomfortable on the lips. So it'll be interesting to see how this wears. I am going to keep this on for as long as it lasts. Hopefully it will at least last through the next few hours until my first check-in, just so I can kind of tell you how it felt over the last few hours and just how it performed and looks in the next few hours, so we'll see. All right, so a little bit of wrap up. I will do kind of right after I'm done filming this little bit of segment wrap up. I'm gonna go into natural lighting and show you what the foundation looks like in natural lighting so you kind of just know. So far, I really love the highlight. I really like the eyeshadow. I think that it looks really pretty. However, I don't think that I would buy this for $46. I just think there is not enough that I could do with this to justify spending $46 in it. I'm eager to potentially try different Kevyn Aucoin eyeshadow palettes because I do like the way that these performed and I like the way that this eye look turned out. I thought the mattes were very easy to use, easy to blend. I just don't think this specific product is worth $46. Maybe if you absolutely love these tones, would wear them every single day and are looking for something easy to grab for, easy to use again every single day, then these might be a very good option for you. For me, not worth $46, but I do like this and I'm eager to try again more of these eyeshadow palettes, but maybe something that offers a little bit more variety. The foundation, you might be able to see on my face just kind of what it looks like. I think that it looks good. I'm interested to see what it looks like over the next few hours and how it settles into the skin. There is still a teeny tiny bit of tackiness where I didn't set, but that's not really much of a bother. As long as I don't touch my face a whole bunch, it should be fine. And then I love the highlighter, really love the highlighter. I think that's probably the star of the show today. And the lipstick, I like it so far. We'll see how I feel in a couple hours. So with that being said, let's go ahead and show you what this foundation looks like in natural lighting. All right, so this is what everything looks like in natural lighting. I think it almost looks even better in natural lighting than it does in my beauty room with just lights and everything in front of me. I'm pretty happy with this so far. So this is, it is, what time is it? It is 2:30 right now, so I will update you in a few hours after I've done some work. I'll probably have some unpacking to do, so maybe I'll sweat a little bit and we can see what everything looks like in a few hours. And yeah, see you in the check-in. All right, hello, welcome to check-in number 1. It is 6 o'clock, so I've been wearing this makeup for almost 4 hours, and it looks, okay, let's see if I can, how well I can show this to you. Here's a close-up. So my skin definitely looks very, very dewy. It's definitely not matte at all, but I mean, I have an oilier skin type. I could for sure touch up my highlight everywhere on the points of my face. Still looks pretty good. I've tried not to touch my face too much, but I definitely think I have. I've touched my chin a bit. I did just pick at my face right here, which is where you'll see a bit of redness. So it's not holding up the absolute best, but it's holding up okay. I haven't really looked at my lips this whole time, but now that I'm looking at them, they look pretty gross. Yeah, this lipstick just did not hold up that well over the last 4 hours. I haven't touched them up. Haven't really touched, well, I have touched them. I've eaten some things and I've drank out of a can. I am gonna touch it up because I might film a video right now. Also, this eye was watering quite a bit, so you can see that the eyeshadow wore off in the inner corner there and maybe a little bit out here, but this eye still looks pretty good. It's just the inner corner right here that I need to touch up. My blush, bronzer, and highlight, again, look pretty all right. They haven't worn away strangely or anything. My forehead still looks pretty good. I mean, you can see all the texture, but that's just skin, you know? So I am gonna reapply the lipstick and see, actually, we'll just go ahead and do that real fast, just to see kind of how it layers and how it reapplies. Okay, so the lipstick has been reapplied and it actually reapplied pretty well. I didn't take off the original layer and then put this one on. I just kind of slapped it on top and I think it looks fine. I am gonna fix up my eye makeup just in case I want to film that other video. It's getting kind of late in the day though and I have a lot of other things that I want to do, so maybe I'll save that video for a different day. But I think that it looks pretty good. The eyeshadow again is holding up pretty well except against my runny eye, which is to be expected. All right, there is my initial check-in. I will catch you back probably in about 3-ish hours and let you know my final thoughts. All right, we are here. It is 9 o'clock. It is our final check-in of the day with the makeup on my face. The lipstick is completely gone, but I pretty much wiped it away because I had noodles for dinner, so that's gone. I'm withholding judgment about it. It's comfortable, not the most comfortable, doesn't wear away the best. I don't know, it's hard to say because I've only worn it once, so I don't want to say whether or not I'd pick up another one because I do like more shades in that range. And again, that is the Huda Beauty matte lipstick, and this one was in the shade Joyride. The concealer, so far I have been enjoying that, but I have more thoughts on that I'll do in some kind of future full review type of video. But I mean, you saw how it applied. What I'll say so far is I'm liking it. The foundation, kind of the star of the show along with the eyeshadow. So it has worn away quite a bit around my middle T-zone area, which is usually where foundation wears away almost always, especially when I've been wearing it for this long, and I didn't apply any primer or anything like that, so I'm not too surprised, but it doesn't look super cracked or splotchy or anything like that. It wore away pretty nicely and the rest of my face looks pretty dewy, not super oily, but more of like a dewy kind of look, which I definitely don't hate. I did pick at my face like down here and right here, so I do have a little bit of redness going on. The highlight, again, I still really enjoy. I also have the highlight in my inner corners. It has worn away a little bit, but usually it does. The eyeshadow, it's definitely worn away a bit. That center shade, the chrome eyeshadow, does look pretty good still. Again, that's in the shade Rose Gold. All of this is by Kevyn Aucoin along with the foundation. As of right now, I still wouldn't pay full price for that eyeshadow palette. I think I stressed this quite a bit earlier in the video, but this palette right here, I like it. I'm gonna use it and I'm gonna enjoy it, and I really like the formula. I just don't think this is worth, what was it, between $42 and $52. I think this was 42 or 46 and the foundation was, I think, 52. So this I don't think is worth that price tag, but the formula of those eyeshadows is really good, and I did enjoy that chrome eyeshadow too that came with that trio. So if they sell those separately for an okay price, might be interested in looking into those. The foundation, I'm gonna keep trying it and then I will update you in some kind of future video about my further thoughts on it. But so far I enjoyed it. I really liked the way that it applied and I liked the little brush that it came with, so I'm going to keep playing around with this foundation. But again, no big call outs right now, nothing that was worrisome to me. It wore throughout the day pretty good, and I really like the finish on it. So again, the two Kevyn Aucoin products, so the foundation and the eyeshadow palette, were both sent to me for free for review from Kevyn Aucoin and Octoly. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that earlier, but I wanted to make sure that was very clear. Everything else I did buy. I think everything that I showed and used I bought during the most recent VIB sale at Sephora. So those were all new products that I purchased with my own money. And I think that is everything I have for you today. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe for more content from me, don't forget to do so before you go. All of those buttons are down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Excuse me, gremlins. What are you doing over there? Hey.